School Board. How about Mr. James Diaz? Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
That's what I get for standing up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All board members and the administration's here. Okay, where am I? Okay, I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting and remind the audience of the request to address board cards that must be completed and submitted to the board secretary if they wish to speak to an agenda item. Board policy provides for 2 cards. White cards to be submitted in order to speak to an agenda item, and blue cards to be submitted in order to speak during public comments. Policy also states there is a 5-minute maximum time limit per speaker. Due to the open meeting law, board members are not allowed to address items that are not on the agenda. If you do not wish to address the board, but want to give your comments in writing, you can do so on a goldenrod sheet, and all the board members will receive a copy. Approval of agenda. Have a motion, please.
I move the governing board approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is the reorganization of the governing board, the election of the governing board president for 2012.
Madam Chair, or Madam President, I would like to move the governing board approve. Are we making motions or are we nominating? Okay, so I move the governing board approve Carl Zaragoza as board president for 2012.
So you nominate?
Yes, so I'm nominating. Can I make my comments
Approving.
now or should I?
You can hold it.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. I nominate Tiffany.
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. All those voting for Carl?
Can we have discussion?
Oh.
Or just.
Do we need?
I don't know if we need to. My comments would be that going back to when Suzanne Schweiger-Nichols was on the board and we had this conversation of rotating and having everyone serve as a governing board president while they are on the school board during their 4-year term. And Mr. Zaragoza has, for the last 3 years, been our clerk. He's presided over meetings, and I think he would do a fine job. And I know that this is the last year of his term, and what happens in the future is between him and voters. But that's why I'm nominating him. Thanks.
Any other comments? Okay. All those in favor of Carl?
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor of Tiffany?
Aye.
Looks like Carl's in. Congratulations. I need a clerk. Okay, the governing board clerk,
We'll let you do the.
They need a minute switch, and Carl will start
the clerk,
the clerk.
okay.
Which is okay. Just slide it over.
Sure, can he do it from there? Because we have Word docs up, can he just do it from there? Okay, go.
The next item on our agenda is the reorganization of the governing board, election of governing board clerk. Are there any nominations?
I move the governing board approve Tiffany Troidel.
Second.
Tiffany Troidel, Arenas, governing board clerk for 2012.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify your vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion is passed. Congratulations, Tiffany. Next item on our agenda is approval of minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes for the January 10th meeting? I approve the minutes as presented, as printed. Public comments. I'd like to call Dorothy Nadeau.
Okay. My children attend Loma Linda School, and as of last year, there was bus service that was canceled. First of all, the school justified it with saying that the bus stop was less than a mile from the school, which it in fact is not. It's 1.1 miles. They also guaranteed us that they would have more crossing guards, and they haven't provided them. For my children to get to school from where we live, their bus stop was at Cherry Lynn, and they have to go from Cherry Lynn and 18th Street to 20th Street, where the school is. They have to cross a canal, they have to cross Osborne, and then they have to cross 20th Street, which is extremely dangerous. There were 30 kids that would get on at that bus stop. 30 kids. There's 2 mothers that walk 10 children to and from school every day. So besides the traffic and the dangers of the canal, there's also the extreme temperatures that they have to deal with. It gets really, really cold in the morning, and those kids are walking to and from school. There's a lot of people in that neighborhood that don't have transportation. I'm one of them. I walk. And having my kids thinking about them crossing a canal to and from school every day is terrifying to me. One child has already been hit by a car this year. I asked the board to strongly reconsider reinstating this bus service. I know that there's at least 10 kids that have been withdrawn from that school because of lack of transportation. And I know that those 10 kids withdrawing from school also cost the school money because they're not getting the federal funding. That's what I have to say.
Hilda, I know we can't discuss this or ask questions, but could I ask her to repeat the route her children take could you do that for me?
Yes, my children were taking the Red Road, and that was at 18th Street and Cherry Lynn.
And you went through how they have to travel now?
They went through, in order for my children to get to school, they have to go from 18th Street and Cherry Lynn. They have to cross the canal on Osborne. They have to cross Osborne, which I don't know if any of you know. Osborne is an extremely busy street, especially early in the morning and in the afternoon. There's a lot of traffic. It terrifies me to cross Osborne. It terrifies me. And you have to think about, there's 2 mothers that cross with 10 kids every day, twice a day. And then they have to cross 20th Street, which is also an extremely busy street. We were told when they canceled bus service that they were going to get a crossing guard on Osborne. They said they had to cancel bus service, but there will be a crossing guard on Osborne, and there's a crossing guard on 20th Street. The closest crossing guard is right in front of the school. There's one crossing guard directly in front of the school. There's no crossing guards on Osborne. And then there's no crossing guards at the canal. What happens if one of those mothers loses control of one of those children and they fall in the canal? That was something that was not considered in the cancellation of this bus service. And I think that it should be strongly reconsidered.